Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Vumeo Station.
Yo! I haven't heard this song in so long! It feels so good to be back in the boutique. You really don't need it after everybody power saved everything. You don't really need the boutique for anything, but still, it's just nice to be back here and just be able to listen to this music again. Yo! What's up, guys? PKSparkxx, your competitive Wi-Fi battling conductor, is here again on Monday with another competitive Wi-Fi battle for you. As you guys can see on the screen, I am doing another OU battle. I am still trying to get my way back into doing OU, back into a competitive mindset, but at the same time, I am aiming to continue doing my own thing in my Wi-Fi battles. As such, you see on the team I have two Pokemon that are not technically OU. I have a Spiritomb, which I believe is RU, and then a Conductor, which is UU at the most, or at the least. He could probably be on UU. But anyway, this is a really good battle against, actually, let me find out his name real quick. AnthoKnight on Twitter at AnthoKnight, the creator and founder of user-friendly websites. So that was pretty decent to go up against a website creator. So we had this battle and it was really decent, went back and forth. You guys see that on his team, he has OU power, he has the standard Mawile, the standard Votowash, and the standard Porygon, the Talonflame. However, the bulk of this team relies in the Porygon 2 and the Sableye, two Pokemon that I'm really worried about and just don't know if I'm going to be able to take them down as much as I would like. The random Pokemon, the Volcavoda, I'm confident about being able to take out so long as I don't let it set up. Conductor's Aqua Jet will do big damage to it, and if I can get my rocks up, then it'll just be an easy sweep from the on out. So right now, my main focus is to hopefully get rocks up. However, you guys are going to see that in this battle, it's kind of an uphill struggle for me to do just that. Am I able to get my rocks up and take control of the battle like I want with this major rock weakness for two of his prominent Pokemon? Or will the Sableye and Porygon 2 be tricky enough and bulky enough to take down the skill of my team? Only one way to find out. The battle begins with his Amanda the Mawile and my Ivo the Charizard Y. I led with Charizard because I looked at his team and I'm like, there is nothing on his team that is going to want to take a Fire Blast from a Charizard Y. Now, what's the word I'm looking for? Despite other battles, this is not the Ivo that I worked before, which is my mixed Ivo with Dragon Dance and Earthquake. This is my pure special attacking Ivo. I can't really decide which one I like, and I might actually go back to my mixed Ivo, but we're gonna have to see in later battles. But anyway, I go into my Mega Charizard Y and I Mega Evolve and I use the Fire Blast. With the Sun boosted, with me being timid but still back special attack, is going to do a little bit over half damage to the Porygon 2. Now, if I missed the Fire Blast right here, this whole battle could have gone a little differently. He could have paralyzed me, he could have burnt me, toxic me, something like that, or used Recover. But luckily I was able to hit the second Fire Blast, and there's the 2-shot on the Porygon 2. He goes out into the Kinmore, and I don't really want to risk him going for the Volt Switch the Thunderbolt right now, because I want this Charizard for later because he really is a good check to a lot of his Pokemon, which is why I led with him in the first place. So I go into King Ramses, and I go out, and he goes for Volt Switch, and does a little bit of good damage to my Tyranitar despite me being max special defense and max HP. He goes out into his space, goes coast to coast, motherfucker, yeah. And he gets hit by the sandstorm. Meanwhile, my Tyranitar, he is lucky enough to actually recover the HP thanks to leftovers. But as you guys can see on the other side of the field, Space Ghost is also carrying leftovers. So at this point, I go for I wanted the opportunity to go for a Stealth Rock, but I didn't really have the opportunity because I didn't want to take risk of burn, because Ivo could also do big damage to his team from what I saw, because I'm actually carrying Toxic on this Tyranitar. So me fearing that and not even going for an actual attack, I switched out to my Ivo. He went for Taunt to prevent my Stealth Rock anyway, so that proved to be a really fruitful turn for me. I go for the Fire Blast. I know that he can't go for Will-O-Wisp because I'm a Fire type, so he's going to try to go for Knockoff, whatever he wanted to do. Anyway, I felt confident going for Fire Blast because it would be big damage to anything, and I do one-shot the Sableye. He goes out into the Votowash, his Kinmore the Votowash, a very common nickname. I go out into my Alakazam because just looking at his team, he's the one that I'm probably willing to sacrifice the most. So I go into my Alakazam, and I'm like, well, yes, yeah, all right, there you go. So I go for my substitute. Wow, I went with my substitute thinking that he's probably going to go for Hydro Pump again or just switch out, whatever. He goes for the Volt Switch, but sadly he does get the critical hit, which is going to be enough to break my substitute. So now my Alakazam is down half health, did no damage, and is not behind the substitute. This is not very good for him right now. He goes over to his Dick Grayson. By the way, I really do appreciate the nickname. That's very clever. Now, I was actually willing to sacrifice my Alakazam right here, so I didn't switch out. I just went for Psychic. I'm like, okay, maybe he'll just try to set up or whatever, and I can take him out. He was expecting me to switch out into something, whoever he was, and he goes out to his Mawile, and even with Mawile resisting Psychic, my Timid Life Orb boosted Alakazam is going to do half to a Mega Mawile with Psychic. So now this is the point of problem. Do I go for Shadow Ball immediately or predict me to go for Sucker Punch? I predicted him to go for Sucker Punch, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to go for Substitute again because I'm actually in control of the battle. So I figured let me try to get a little more control, and if I don't, then it's a dead Alakazam, which is my original plan in the first place. It's just kind of just let Alakazam fall to the wayside. So with my substitute going because he went for the play rough, predicting me to go for substitute. He does go for play rough this time. Sucker Punch because I can't go for substitute. And then it's going to be a dead Alakazam. I need to rebreed mine so I can rename it Makarov. I need to do that. I'm going to do that right after this battle actually. But anyway, so my Fang, the Guard Chomp comes out, and I'm like, okay, he's probably going to switch out here. Who do I want to predict him to go out into? So, not predicting not wanting to go too far as to go for Dragon Claw, but assuming he's going to switch out here, and maybe he'll try to mind game me. I went for Iron Head because I figured it'd be neutral damage, and maybe I'll get the flinch. So he goes out into Kinmore, the Blood and Wash. I have to switch out here, so I go out into my Buffalo Bill, the Spiritomb. Thumbs up, hit that like button if you guys got that reference. And he goes for the Will-O-Wisp, and I am actually not worried about Will-O-Wisp on my Spiritomb. Now my big goal right here is to make sure that I can just do damage to this Golden Wash. So Buffalo Bill is also another Pokemon I'm willing to sack off just to do damage off, because if I can get my Charizard Y in on the right time, like with a little bit of damage done, then I will destroy this Golden Wash with a Solar Beam. So he goes for the Hydro Pump. I'm about to say High Jump Kick. Wow. Imagine a Golden Wash doing a High Jump Kick. That'd be pretty powerful. I'd be intimidated. I don't know about you guys. But anyway, I go for the Dark Pulse. And Dark Pulse does I'll say 20 to 25% somewhere around there, but definitely like 18% after the leftovers. But it's okay. That's actually all the damage I really wanted to do. So at this point, I do believe I go for Dark Pulse this time. Yeah, I went for Dark Pulse. I was almost tempted to go for Pain Split. Yeah, if I had gone for Pain Split, it wouldn't have done so much because he actually missed with the second Hydro Pump. So, that was just crazy. Now, I do believe he actually misses a second time right here. I'm not sure, but my memory says that he misses again. No, he does not. Okay, so he goes to the Hydro Pump, and he hits my Buffalo Bill. Because I am not especially defensive orient, I am going to go down to the Hydro Pump, but that is a-okay. I have done all the damage I wanted to do to this Golden Wash. With this thing now being about 60% health, I can send him my Charizard Y, my Iroh, and just scare him out with I can scare him out with a powerful Solar Beam. Now, I went for the Solar Beam because I didn't really want to didn't want to take the risk of predicting too much and then him living a Fire Blast by any chance and then going for Voltwing. So I need my Golden Wash. I need my Charizard. He goes out into Wormy the Volcarona, and Wormy, well, okay, it's a pseudo-legendary Pokemon, 600 base stats, really especially bulky, and yet even through a critical hit, I'm able to do about 15%. He's not carrying leftovers in the sun from a Fire Blast, from a Charizard Y. Fire Blast is definitely going to take out a Volcarona, even though his neutral is a lot more powerful than Air Slash ever could have been, and that's going to be a dead Wormy. So then he sends out Dick Grayson, and like I said, I do want to save my Charizard because I can use him. So now with the Sableye already gone, I know that I can send in King Ramses and at least take one hit. The worst case scenario was that this Talonflame was actually packing U-turn, which in that case I could have been in a real pickle right there because he still has his Golden Wash. So anyway, he goes to Brave Bird and it does about 25%, and I see right here that he's actually Life Orb. So that's going to explain a lot because now I know his moveset. He's going to be packing either Swords Dance or Roost. I'm sorry, he's probably going to be packing both of them. And Flare Blitz because he's Life Orbs. I know he's not Choice Banded, so he's going to have those moves. So that is something that I have in back in my mind. So right now, instead of just automatically attacking, which is something else I wanted to do, I decided to take the opportunity because I know he's going to switch out here, and I'm going to set up Stealth Fox. So that way, when the Talonflame comes in, he's going to take big damage, and then he's going to have to waste a turn just to boost off like I want him to. He goes out into the Golden Wasp for my previous prediction as I set up the Stealth Fox. And now Kinmore, the Golden Wash, is sitting over there recovering his leftover, but still taking damage from the Sandstorm. Now, I'm pretty confident that I can live one Hydro Pump from this Voting Wash in the sand, because like I said, I am specially bulky. I love specially bulky Tyranitar. So I'm going to go for damage. I was almost tempted to actually go for the for Toxic, assuming him to go for Will-O-Wisp, but for some reason I just went for Crunch. Now when I saw how much damage he did, I'm like, okay, he's gonna want to go for he's gonna want to attack, go for Will-O-Wisp this time, so he could try to live one more. That's pretty much my decision. So I'm like, do I want to set up and go, predict that and go for Toxic or his Voting Wash, or do I want to just go for another Crunch and just get the immediate knockoff? I decided to go for the latter, and I go for another Crunch because I figured if he does attack me, maybe I can still knock him out. I almost do, and if he didn't get that leftovers HP, it definitely would have been Votem. But thankfully, Tyranitar Sand is still out, and that is going to do enough residual damage to take out the Voting Wash. So looks like as though my latter plan was definitely the better decision, because I was thinking like, you know, maybe he'll live another one, whatever. Like, do I go for Toxic or do I go for the Crunch? So anyway, he goes out, he sends out his Amanda. Right now I believe he's down to his last two Pokemon, Amanda the Maywow and Dick Grayson, the Talonflame. So I know the Tyranitar's faster than the Maywow, and I guess it was going, I just go for play rough, but luckily I am a mixed Tyranitar. Mixed Pokemon are essential when you're playing OU. That is something I've come to notice. Mixed Pokemon are essential when you're playing OU. I go for the Fire Blast, and that's going to be super effective damage on the Maywow, ignoring the attack drop thanks to, you know, Fire Blast being a special attack, and that is going to one-shot the Maywow. So right now he sends out his Dick Grayson. Now this is my first mistake of the battle. I should have just gone for Toxic earlier, but I'm like, you know what, maybe he'll just kamikaze it, because right now I believe the battle is 4-0, so maybe he'll kamikaze his Talonflame and just kind of concede the battle. But he decided to go for the former and actually boosted off his damage. As such, the burn is not going to allow me to do as much damage to Talonflame as I normally would. So I take this opportunity, knowing that he can't really damage me. I'm going to attempt to go for Toxic and hope that I don't miss. Because if I miss, then right now I'm going to have a problem. You guys saw he went for Swords Dance. I do go up for Toxic, go on the Toxic on the Dick Grayson, and because he has no Pokemon he can shot you, it is literally just a matter of time. Now right here, I'm going to get as much residual damage off on the Talonflame as I can possibly get. So right now, my initial plan is I'm going to swap out into my Garchomp, which has only seen the light of day once in this battle. Now I'm going to switch out into my Garchomp, assuming that it's going to attack me this time. Oh, actually I go into my Conductor. Okay. Why did I go to the Conductor? Right, I'm sorry. I went to the corner because I knew he was going to roost up, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'll get a little bit more damage off. You know what, that was my mistake. I had a blip. My apologies. Whoops. But anyway, so now Conductor is here. I go for I decided to switch out here because now I know he's going to attack, and I'm like, okay. He decided to do damage. I'm sorry. Okay. He decided to heal up one more time, try to get as much damage off as he can. However, he is a complete kamikaze Pokemon with Life Orb and is also toxic. So I'm going to go into my Tyranitar right now. That way I can get my stand up, because at this point he's pretty much done with him being setting the Swords Dance up. No matter what he does, thanks to the burn and the you know, just the sheer strength of a Talonflame. So I go into my Tyranitar, get the stand up, and it's going to do all that residual damage from Brave Bird to Life Orb to Sand to Toxic. Talonflame is not in a good position right here. It is literally only one move away from me. So I'm going to send out my Garchomp, and I'm like, I could have sent out Smitty, but I'm like, you know what? My Garchomp is actually packing Rocky Helmet, which is something that I found very useful if you're not using Ferrothorns to have Rocky Helmet Garchomp, just because it just works. So even though he one-shots my Fang because of the sheer power of a Talonflame, thanks to Rocky Helmet, thanks to Rough Skin, thanks to me having full HP, the recoil itself is going to take him out, not to mention the Sandstorm or the toxic damage, and that is a Dick Grayson, and victory goes to me, 2-0. Talonflame is always a game changer. There's a Pokemon that you really have to be on the watch out for, and you need to make sure you have a proper check for. Tyranitar is my check for him just because I can bring him in, and barring is not a Choice Banded U-turn set, I can bring him in and properly deal with it. If it is a Choice Banded set, then there's also another Pokemon I can deal with, because all I gotta do is set up the right Pokemon, and it's going to be a stronger battle, a harder battle if he is Choice Banded U-turn, but still, I know I can get around with it before, because Garchomp really does eat up a U-turn fast, and thanks to all the residual damage that a Choice Banded Talonflame can't take due to it not having boost. Usually I can work around that. This is a really good battle and I'm glad to have had it. I've really worked around the Rotom Wash, which I'm glad I was able to, because even though the Rotom Wash was a problem, me just having the sheer force of Charizard Y was enough to just burn through the, one of his best checks to the Solar Beam from Charizard Y, which was Volcarona. I really do wish I bought my mixed Charizard just because I wanted to see what it could do. Otherwise, this was a really good battle and I'm quite proud of it. I'm gonna have one more battle. Next week's battle will be with this team, just because I like to battle a few times with a team and make sure I can hash out any problems. I usually mix things up as well, but when I have a team, I play with it often so I can find out any weaknesses and learn from it, and then apply that to later teams. It's just something I've been working on. Like I said, I've also been working on actually producing higher quality battles when it comes to pure gameplay. So if you guys really did enjoy the gameplay in today's video, make sure you guys show by hitting that like button. I promise to make Mondays a lot more worthwhile, not just with the gimmicky sets, not with me just being loud or entertaining, but I mean loud or just obnoxious, but I really want to entertain you guys with great commentary, entertaining commentary, and a great battle. That's my real goal right now, so I hope that you guys really did enjoy that. Hope to see you guys by my channel. Right now I'm doing Mario Kart 8, so make sure you guys stop by my channel and see that. The hype is real. Live streams almost every single day. Whew! Check out the other stops here on Lumio Station. I will see you guys this Saturday for the Prism Podcast, where I am playing a Pokemon Platinum Randomizer Nuzlocke. Otherwise, thank you all for watching. Stay hot, guys. And I'll see you all next time.